How do you make experimental sound design without alienating your audience? Imagine walking a tightrope between familiar melodies and wild sonic adventures. That's the challenge when creating experimental sound design that keeps listeners engaged. Start by anchoring your sounds in recognizable musical elements. Use steady beats or simple melodies as a foundation. This gives your audience something to relate to while you introduce unconventional textures or effects. For example, a basic drum pattern can serve as a stable base for layered distorted sounds or unusual synth textures. Begin with subtle tweaks to common sounds. Use distortion, saturation, or modulation to transform familiar noises into new, interesting timbres. Slowly increase the level of experimentation over time. This gradual approach helps your audience adjust to the new sounds without feeling lost or overwhelmed. Layering is another key technique. Place different sounds in separate frequency ranges or spatial positions. This creates a rich, immersive environment that feels intentional rather than chaotic. Incorporate field recordings or found sounds to add an organic touch. These real-world elements help connect listeners to something familiar even amid experimental textures. Resampling is a powerful tool in advanced sound design. Record a sound, manipulate it with effects or synthesis, then re-record and process it again. This iterative process produces unique textures while maintaining some connection to the original sound. It's a way to craft fresh sounds that still feel familiar enough to keep the audience interested. Arrangement and structure matter even in experimental music. Use traditional song forms or create new ones with clear sections and progression. This helps listeners follow your sonic journey without feeling lost. You can experiment with effects routing or unconventional sound paths, but keeping some sense of coherence prevents alienation. Practical tips include replacing common sounds like kick drums with other elements, such as layered metallic hits or synthesized pulses. Push simple waveforms into extreme distortion and modulate parameters to create evolving textures. Use tape looping or splicing to generate hypnotic, repetitive patterns. Try unusual instruments or sound sources like the theremin or its digital equivalents to add distinctive character. Experiment with mixing techniques and effect chains in unconventional ways. For example, try parallel processing or reverse effects to discover new sonic landscapes. Always aim for clarity and balance so your experimental sounds serve the overall piece. By combining these methods, you can push your sonic boundaries without losing your audience. The key is to introduce new elements gradually, maintain some familiar ground, and craft a coherent structure. This way, your experimental sound design becomes intriguing and accessible, inviting listeners to explore new worlds while feeling comfortable along the way.